At what point do you leave what you've loved to do for decades because it has become too difficult or too risky to proceed? Our seventh decade has begun. Along with it, the challenges of declining abilities. The Hideaway has not had wind in her sails for over a year. She needs a new captain and crew. It is with great sadness that we offer the SV Hideaway for sale. The Hideaway is Com-Pac 23 Mark I, built in 1978, hull number 2. Our SV Hideaway YouTube channel has 200 videos, the majority of which are about sailing hideaway, cruising, maintenance, and even converting an old trailer. Don't do that. And buying a new one. The videos cover our last 14 years of sailing hideaway. Previous history, 7 years on the Hideaway, occurred BC, before cameras. The Hideaway has gone through several iterations, from a day sailor to a cruiser to a racer, and now back to a day sailor. Gear has been added and removed, colors have changed. I made this video to show how she is now.
And this, of course, is the starboard side. This will give you some idea of the condition of the boat. I've done nothing to try to enhance that. You notice the driveway is dry. There's no water on the boat. So whatever sheen is my attempts of waxing, which I'm probably not the best at. So you really need to come by and have a look.
Our first set of wheel covers only lasted a few weeks before the Florida sun had them for breakfast. The pair we have on, or the set we have on now, is made of a very heavy material, vinyl type thing, and it's been on there through some pretty nasty storms, and it's done well for us. They're a little bit oversized, but that's all right. It keeps everything covered better. The state of Florida, Pinellas County, has certified that the Hideaway qualifies as an antique vessel. Doesn't mean much, except I get a substantial discount on the yearly licensing fees. We added the trailer guides a couple of years ago. You can get the kit online or at any one of your marine centers. The PVC Schedule 40 pipe you can get at any one of the home supply centers. Doesn't have to be a marine grade or anything. We made them 72 inches tall because the shorter ones just disappeared underwater, frankly. So they do need to be 72 inches tall. You can see the black marks from the rub rail. That's how far down the boat was in the water. So it is necessary to do that. This has been a great safety factor for us. I highly recommend them.
As far as the bottom paint goes, I debated whether I should go ahead and get a bottom job done before we put the boat up for sale. However, we don't know how the boat's going to be used. Right now, the bottom paint that is on the boat is the soft one. In other words, this is the one that you'd put on if you're going to keep it in the water, especially in salt water. However, if you're going to trailer a boat, you need a harder finish because of the marks and damage that the trailer could do to it. Really, though, if you're going to just trailer it or store it on the trailer, you don't really need bottom paint in the first place. But here in Florida, it only takes a day or two, and you'll start having growth show up. It's easy to wash off, but it's just another chore. So I'm going to leave that up to you, and it doesn't make the boat look all that great because that bottom paint's pretty old. Now this rather large-looking patch just covers some scratches that we obtained when we got the keel in between the risers there and the supports. I do have a video on that, and we'll make sure you can see that. The tongue jack is a Fulton 2,500 pound capacity jack. I put this on some years ago, but I opted also just to have the foot rather than the wheel, because you really can't push the trailer around anyway, whether it's empty or has the Hideaway on it. And that way, as you raise and lower at it, you have a firm spot to land. You can get the wheel if you like, but it really doesn't apply to, at least I don't think it does. I don't think it really applies to the Hideaway, because you can't really wheel it around anyway. But the jack that came with it, it was just not strong enough to handle the weight of the Hideaway. Well, just to prove me wrong, we sailed almost the entire east-west run on the Boca Ciega Bay, and really haven't had to make any adjustment on my alleged self-steering mechanism. I didn't invent this, by the way. It's actually the company that used to own it sold out to a company that specializes in Catalina 22s. So we had to adapt it from there. I'm sorry?
What's the name of the company?
I forgot. That's an odd name for a company, I know, because but you don't forget it.
The head is plumbed for dockside pump out.
Once the siphon is established, we should have water here. Now, that was a long time coming. It was a difficult project, but now we've got a siphon mechanism that will make that easy to get set up, so you can wash your hands. How about that?
With the addition of the vanity, the total number of berths was reduced by 1. The Hideaway, hull number 2, does not have cabinets under the side decks. This resulted in 2 comfortable wide berths in the main cabin. I suppose, in theory, you could assign someone you don't like so much to the port berth. The cockpit is well designed for 2 and it has become a favorite summer berth under the Bimini. The Hideaway does not suffer from wood cabinets that cover the hull-to-deck joint, nor does it worry about the ceiling panels or water stains on wood paneling that surround the port lights. Slide-out kitchen and sink? Not on the Hideaway. We prefer the safety of cooking on deck using our camping stove. The lack of these upgrades is a hidden advantage. If you have to crawl under the cockpit for some reason for a repair, and yes, you probably will, eventually, see my video on leak detection. Oh, by the way, there was no mouse fur to be found on the Hideaway.
Pretty simple plan here. We're going to attach the new wire to the old. The new wire is a duplex, meaning that we have a case all the way around it. I think that's going to be a better solution. Linda's going to feed it through off of this reel. Yes, and that is my anchor holder. It can do other things too very well. And then I'll be on the head of the mast, and we will hopefully get this done in a few minutes, otherwise not. After some exhausting online research concerning the type of wire and the uses therein, we settled on picking up some of this Anchor brand marine grade 18-2 wire for the cable. Turns out that you could probably get by with a thinner wire if you wanted to.
The running lights have been photographed during the daytime. The photos have not been retouched in any way. The steaming light I replaced because the lens had fogged up. By now you have seen my video about removing our 60-pound lead acid battery and replacing it with a deep cycle lithium iron phosphate battery. The new battery has 18 amp hours, weighing in at about 5 pounds. It has no liquids. It has suited us well for day sailing. However, it may not be suitable for cruising. There are over 200 videos on our Sailing Hideaway YouTube channel, SV Hideaway, Sailing Hideaway, most of which cover the last 14 years of Sailing Hideaway cruising, day sailing, and maintenance projects. You don't need to watch them all. Nonetheless, they will give you an unprecedented history, unavailable anywhere else, describing what it's really like to own and sail the Hideaway, a Com-Pac 23 Mark I, hull number 2. Leave a comment below if you're interested in acquiring a Hideaway or see my ad on Sailing Texas. The SV Hideaway is located in the Tampa Bay area.